How's it going? It's Jeff from jeffrey-thomas.com, and I'm going to go ahead and walk through a really cool worksheet on my website called Diatonic Harmony, Triads and Modes, Key of A. So obviously a very theory-related worksheet, talking about triads, modes, etc. But it's also a very great worksheet for technique. So let me shut up and play. Here's the top line starting with an A. Ready, go. Okay, once again. Okay, so we have an arpeggio, P, I, M, I. Then you're going to come in for a block chord. There's the triad, and then here's the major scale, alternating with I and M. So remember P, I, M, and A for your right hand letter names. Fingers are the same as the frets on that scale. Moving up to B minor. C sharp minor. Fourth line is D. Fifth line is E. And then for the last line for F sharp minor, we're going to shift and change strings. So we're now on the third, second, and first. And then the scale is okay, and then the remaining scales and chords are on the second page of the worksheet. But here's where this is valuable. Look, I know a lot of people who are playing the ukulele don't really get music theory, and there's a big reason for that. This is a limiting instrument. I'll go ahead and say it. There's only 4 strings, and there's only so much range. You have to be careful with the keys that you play in, because they don't all lend themselves to, you know, a wide range of being able to understand the chord shapes and the scale shapes. A is a good key for showing theory. But the point I'm trying to make is when you have an instrument like the piano, an instrument like the guitar, you have a larger range of notes, and that's where you're going to have most of your theory books written for that. So what's going on here is I'm labeling the scales as they are in their modal names. So an A major or scale is an Ionian mode. Scale and mode are the same thing. B is B Dorian, C sharp is Phrygian mode, D is Lydian, E is Mixolydian, F sharp is Aeolian, and then the scale that's on the other page is going to be G sharp Locrian. Okay, so these big fancy church modes that are labeled from way back are basically just describing the scale that you're going to play for each chord. So there's definitely a lot more to talk about as far as interval structure on that subject, but what I want to show you is the value of this as far as just technique goes. So here's the metronome at 80, and I'm going to go ahead and run the top line for you. Ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I'll just stay with the top line. Okay, so you can see how it's going to work your right hand and your left hand as you go through all of these individual triads and modes. And it's musical, you know, it's not like some weird, you know, scale or finger exercise that doesn't sound musical. This is something that you might hear in like a vocal class. You know, like the piano player would play that kind of a thing, and then the student would sing the scale. Okay, so a lot of value for playing. If you're not totally clear on the theory, that's okay as well. Like I said, it's going into theory for the ukulele is I haven't found the right book yet. So if anyone has any good suggestions for a ukulele theory book that's solid and following the proper curriculum, college level for the theory subjects, that would be great. Please send it to me. So hopefully this was a good lesson and you're able to run through this and start getting some of this into your playing. I'm on a low G, but it'll also sound fine on a high G. Okay, thanks a lot.